Hey everybody, Grandma D here. I am so happy to finally be able to be back with you for another story time. I had to go away for the weekend, and so I was finally able to get back to this tonight, and I'm so happy. It's Sunday evening and the end of a long weekend for me. I was out of town in Detroit this weekend. And while I was gone, I was trying to remember how many books in our Disney Princess series we have read so far. I wondered if maybe you might remember. I think, let's see, I have here in front of me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I believe there was 10 books altogether. I was like, wow, we're moving right along. How about that? So I'm super excited tonight to be able to bring you Thanks, Dopey, a story about gratitude. How about that? We have Snow White and Dopey and some of their little woodland friends. It looks like Snow White is making something. I wonder what this story will be about. So, before we get started, I just want you to know that I'm so glad you're here and I've missed you very much. While I was away this weekend, I thought about you all and I couldn't wait to get home to be able to have another story. So, with that said, we are going to get started. And tonight we're going to read Thanks, Dopey, a story about gratitude. So let's get started and see what happens. Snow White stepped out of her royal carriage, eager for a visit with her friends. She had not seen them for weeks because she had been so busy at the castle with her husband, the prince. "Hello, Dopey," she called to the dwarf as he ran to greet her. "Where are all the others?" How many dwarfs were there in the story? There's Dopey. In the original Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, right? So this is Dopey. There's one of them right there with his little house, and he's running out to greet Snow White. Snow White watched as Dopey explained. "Oh, so Grumpy's chopping wood," she said, "and Sneezy's fetching water. Sleepy and Happy are fishing. Doc and Bashful are gathering berries. And you've been sweeping," Snow White said. "What a busy day everyone is having. Perhaps we could have tea and visit together. I can show you the surprise I'm making for you all." Oh my goodness. I wonder what it is. Hmm. Hmm. It's only a bit cool today, but before long it will be very cold, Snow White said. "I'm making you all new mittens for winter." She smiled at her friend. "Dopey," she said, "do you want to learn to knit too?" Dopey nodded his head eagerly. Dopey tried and tried. At first, he couldn't quite get the hang of it. Uh-oh, she's trying to teach him. Look, isn't he funny? He's trying to make those stitches. Very cool. Do you know how to knit or crochet? I do. It's a lot of fun. At last, he knitted 2 stitches together, then 4. "You're a fast learner, Dopey," Snow White said. When I come back for my next visit, I'm sure you'll be even better. I'll leave some yarn with you so that you can keep practicing. Snow White kissed him on the forehead. Tell everyone I said hello. Dopey blushed and waved goodbye. Oh, look at his cheeks are all rosy because she's kissing him on the forehead. He's trying so hard to learn how to knit. As the dwarfs walked back to the cottage, Grumpy moaned, "Chopping wood on a hot day is hard work. But I hate it more when the winter wind blows on my neck." That gave Dopey an idea. He would make Grumpy the perfect present, and he would use what Snow White had taught him to do it. Uh-oh, what do you think he's thinking about making for him? There's Grumpy, right there. What do you think that is? In the days that passed, Dopey spent all of his free time knitting in secret. He got up early in the morning while everyone else was sleeping. At night, he tiptoed down the stairs after everyone fell asleep to do more work. During the day, he hid his special project under the mattress on his bed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at him go. Look how big it is. Look at that. Super cool. He's trying so hard. Sometimes his friend Snow White came over to give him a helping hand. "My Dopey, you're really getting the hang of this," she said, holding up a length of scarf. Dopey was happy to hear such praise. It made him work harder than ever. As the scarf got longer, it was harder and harder to fit in Dopey's hiding place. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, look. His bed is full of scarf. Look how long that is. Wow. Do you think that'll keep Grumpy warm? One day, Snow White came for a visit. All the dwarfs were there to greet her. "I've brought you a surprise," she said, happily as she held up several pairs of mittens. "Hooray! Thank you, Snow White," they all said, all but Grumpy. He just frowned. He's always grouchy. Uh-oh, there's the mittens. Look at Grumpy. Later that afternoon, Doc tried on his pair of mittens. "What good are mittens now?" Grumpy said to Doc. "It's not cold enough." Doc pointed to the tree outside the window. "Once all the leaves fall off to the ground, winter will be here," he exclaimed. "It's already getting colder in the diamond mine." Grumpy just shrugged. He's not very grateful, is he? Look at that. They're all trying on their mittens. Doc looks pretty happy. One morning soon afterwards, Snow White visited the dwarfs just as they were leaving for work. "I've brought some treats for you to take for lunch." "Thank you, Snow White," Doc said. Your gifts always come in handy. And thanks again for these mittens. They're very helpful on a cold day like today." One by one, the other dwarfs thanked her too, as they headed for the mine. Wow, there she's got a big bag full of goodies for them to have for lunch. I wonder what it is. I bet it's good stuff. Maybe fried chicken, maybe ham and cheese sandwiches and chips. peanut butter and jelly, maybe? Just as Dopey was about to leave, he overheard Grumpy tell Snow White that at least his hands would be warm. Dopey knew this meant that Grumpy was cold. Maybe now was the right time to give Grumpy his gift. So Dopey ran inside to get it. Oh, I bet he's so excited. I bet he's so excited. Running back outdoors, Dopey wrapped his long scarf around Grumpy again and again. Then Dopey clapped his hands happily. Suddenly he realized he had forgotten his mittens and ran inside to get them. "What is this?" Grumpy snorted. "Dopey made you a scarf," Snow White quietly explained. "This is no scarf," Grumpy said. "This is some kind of joke." Uh-oh. All those beautiful colors and all that hard work. Snow White watched with concern as Grumpy tried to unwind himself. Grumpy didn't like the gift. Snow White worried that Dopey's feelings would be hurt. What would a princess do? Snow White smiled gently. "Dopey wanted you to be warm all winter long." "But everyone will laugh at me," Grumpy said. "Just remember," said Snow White, "that love that goes into a gift is much more important than the gift itself." Have you ever been given something homemade? Something someone spent a lot of time on for you and maybe you weren't very appreciative of it? Wonder how that might make you feel if that happened to you. Grumpy unwound the scarf and held it up. He looked at it carefully. Maybe it's worth a try after all, Grumpy thought. He flung it around his shoulders. Grumpy wound it this way and that, then he tossed one end behind his back and smiled. Well, maybe he's thinking it over. Maybe he's kind of liking it a little bit. Sometimes we have to give things a second chance. At first glance, maybe not, but second time around might be, When Dopey came back, Grumpy was wearing his scarf proudly. "Thanks, Dopey," Grumpy said. "I guess I can't complain about the cold ever again." Snow White gave Grumpy a great big smile. Then she turned to Dopey and said, "It's a wonderful scarf, Dopey. I'm so proud of you. You worked very hard to help a friend." Have you ever helped a friend with something? Made something for them or done something for them to make their life easier? Dopey was very happy that his gift was such a success. Snow White smiled approvingly as she waved goodbye. "This scarf is big enough for 2 of us, Dopey," Grumpy said. "It will keep us both warm. Now let's go to work." The end. Look how happy they all are. And Grumpy is sharing his scarf with Dopey. That's being a good friend. So what do you think about gratitude? Have you thought much about it? Have you thought about thanking those you love for the things that they do for you? Like your adult, when they take care of you, and your teacher at school, when they do things for you, and your friends, when they call you to say, "How you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple days. What's up?" We have to remember to be grateful and kind to one another. It's very important. And I hope, in fact, I know that that's what you're going to do. So I hope you enjoyed today's story. Thanks, Dopey, our story about gratitude. What a lovely story. And so that means that we have 5 more to go in our Disney Princess series. 5 more books to go. We're halfway through. This has been such fun. I've enjoyed it so much. I love spending time with you. And I would love to hear what kind of books you enjoy. What are your favorites? What kind of things do you check out at your library at school? Do you go to your local public library? And if you do, what do they have there? What kind of things do you check out there? I would love to know. If you would like to reach out to Grandma D, you can reach me at the email or the mail address in the notes below this video. And if I can locate this book, I will let you know in the notes below, and maybe you can get Thanks Dopey for yourself, or even the entire series if you can find it. So I'm super excited because our next book that we're going to read next time we get together is finally The Legend of the Petoskey Stone. So be looking for this very soon. And also, we are going to be starting reading twice a week instead of 3 times a week for a little while. Because Grandma D is becoming quite busy at work and summer's coming. Things are picking up outside. So we're going to scale back a little bit for the summer, and we'll read twice a week, every week until fall, and things slow down outside. Then we'll come back in and we'll start back up 3 times a week. So I hope that you will have your adult subscribe to my channel and like this video and click the notification bell so that you will know the next time a Storytime video comes out. So this is Grandma D saying, no matter where you are in the world, whether you're getting up to go to school in the morning, whether you're getting ready to go to bed and you're all tucked in at night under the covers listening to your story, or whether you're sitting on the couch with your dear friend or your adult, I want you to know that I love you and I care about you. So I'm sending you warm hugs and butterfly kisses. Until next time, when we read one of our next Disney Princess stories and The Legend of the Petoskey Stone. This is Grandma D saying bye-bye for now.